Well, it's the beginning. A new tournament, another World Cup, in this case, the FIBA World Cup, and I think our guys are making progress. They haven't played together before, showing great effort. Doing a good job in a lot of different ways, just trying to get used to each other and form a team. So we're still in those early stages of trying to get together and figure out how we want to play and learn about each other. So tonight was another step.
Well, we're always happy to be back in Las Vegas. I say the same thing each time because it's our second home. And as far as this new group, a new coach and Coach Popovich, there's a good feeling in the locker room and the practices that it's going to be a good group for us to try to bring together. And we've got the right guy coaching, and we've got a number of good young players, and including the guy to the left of Coach Popovich that, I keep saying we're going to be okay. I mean, we're going to be okay. That's how I feel.
Similar to what they said, I think, a lot of us, we all competed all week in competitive practices, and today you guys saw it kind of spill out onto the floor. Guys communicated, defended, and like Coach Pop said, this is just the beginning of a long journey, and I think, we're a lot closer, than this past week than we have been, so I think continuing to build that relationship on and off the floor will help us communicate, help us do what we need to do to win.
Questions?
Questions for Donovan. Can you talk about how your reads off the dribble, reads off the roll, kind of progressed since the end of last year?
I think the biggest thing as far as my reads go is just slowing down. A lot of times, especially in my first year or so, just going and trying to make a read out of that. I think now just being able to understand where the big is at, understand where the help's coming from, and not always being in a rush. I think that's one thing that I'm really starting to work on as far as coming off pick and roll, even in transition. Not always going 100 miles an hour, being able to change pace and find the open guys, not just score as well.
Bob, I know you have to start at 5, obviously. Was there anything to read into about the 5 you chose? Is that everything separated?
No, that would probably be a incorrect assumption. We're still trying to figure out how people fit together, what's best. Not just who should start and who's going to come off the bench, but, you don't always necessarily play your most talented guys together. It's got to be a good mix. You've got to have something coming off the bench also. So what we're doing now is just mixing and matching and taking a look at everybody.
Coach, what are the biggest challenges that when you have so many talented players together to put together a team?
Well, I think it's incumbent upon, the staff to figure out the best combinations as far as roles are concerned. There are going to be some players who are more talented than others, but a lot of jobs have to be filled. You've got to rebound, you've got to play defense, you've got to have people who can score, some people who can shoot, leaders, people who play basketball intelligently. But for us overall, we're looking for people who are committed defensively and are totally unselfish and willing to move the ball and move themselves at the offensive end.
And then with the international game, what would the challenges be then with trying to get these guys?
Well, I think that more than anything, there's been so much success for the last 11 or 12 years. It's a matter of getting a new group to understand the task at hand, the difficulty of the challenge, and figure out how to bear up to that. We get to the tournament phase of this journey, and we're hoping that at that point, we've matured as a group so that we can, face whatever it might be, whether it's physicality or a fine run team, a fine executing team. We have a lot of respect for all the teams that we're going to play, and a lot of them have played us tough in the past. We've come out on top, but a lot of good teams, and most of them have even more pro players than they did 3 years ago. as far as NBA players anyway. So we know what's ahead of us, but having people who are mature enough and care enough is really important. We've got a whole group of those kind of guys.
Coach, what do you like most about Jason Tatum, the way he performed tonight and also in the week leading up?
Well, he was very aggressive tonight. He looked to score. He was very active in that regard, and we really like that about him and need that from him.
How much fun did you have on the court when the guy easily had the beautiful passes? For you, it's something bringing you on the court. So how much fun did you that those players you haven't played recently?
Like I said, coming in to USA, this is an honor, to be here, to be able to play with guys, like Kemba Walker, talking to Kyle Lowry, who just was NBA champion, playing with guys I grew up playing with like Fox and Bam. So for me to be here, it's a lot of fun, to be able to go on the court and compete, even guys on the select team being able to compete. But as far as, finding guys, it's all about reads, and I think building that chemistry off the floor allows you to trust guys, and guys will trust that you find them. And I think a lot of my teammates, trust me that I'm going to find, just like I trust De'Aaron and I trust Kemba, I trust Jason, whoever it may be, to find each other as far as, driving and kicking. That's what we've been preaching all week. And at the end of the day, this is basketball playing for my country. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else, and it's a lot of fun.
Go, Mark.
Basically, you guys started practice this week. In 25 days, you have a real game. Your style, Kemba style, how do you think they mesh, and how much chemistry can you guys build in 25 days?
I think it can mesh very well. You look at tonight. We came out and they came out and hit us first. I think they went up 7-2, and we came out and defended. I think that's what's really going to help us, coming out and really locking in defensively. I look at him as how he plays the pick and roll. He's a guy Coach Snyder's really challenged me to watch. As hard as he gets over screens and how he kind of mixes it up on defenders. I think if we can put the pressure on defense, that makes offense that much easier. I think us coming in, making the right reads, making the right plays, and finding guys. And I think we showed a lot of that tonight, and we'll continue to build as these 25 days go on.
Coach, 41%. I'm not sure how significant you consider the stats for tonight, but 41% from the three and 20 assists on it looks like 38 made field goals. Did any of those stand out at all for you today?
Well, if we can shoot 41% from three every game, we'll take that. That's not bad. That's pretty good. And I think we'll up our assist total even more than what you saw tonight as we become more familiar with each other and feel more comfortable in the system.
We have time for two more questions.
Coach, other than the fourth quarter, Team White scored 20 points and 14 points on two separate occasions in the second and third quarter. Can you talk a little bit about what you saw and what you liked from the defense today?
I think just recognition as much as anything. People are figuring out the terms, what things mean. It's like a new language for some people. It is basketball, but oftentimes we use different words for different actions on the court. And as they get used to that, the defense gets better. There's been absolutely no problem with the effort, the physicality, and that sort of thing. So it's just a matter of getting wiser, becoming more habitual, everybody reacting correctly more often, and that's what we're looking for.
Finish up with Tim.
Jerry, what happens now as far as figuring out what happens roster-wise between now and the reconvening Tuesday night?
Well, did you tell the guys?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we let two fellas know that they won't be going to LA. Thaddeus Young and Bam. And we're bringing a couple of young players from the select team. And so we're going to be patient with the rest of the squad because we have plenty of time. We have 2 weeks to decide who will be the final 12. 48 hours before Game 1 in China is when we have to submit a roster. So we want to make sure everyone gets a real shot, and I think the staff is sorting through all of that. I mean, looking at, there's something we like about every one of the players, but it's how do you come to your 12? We don't have to make that decision, or we won't be rushed into it. We're going to wait. Give everyone a real shot.
Who's going to LA and selecting?
White and Bagley.
Well, Fox and Harris continuing.
Well, I wasn't considering Fox. Well, the rest. Fox, we kind of moved up to the big boys, with the big boys the first day of camp, so I wasn't including them on the select team.
Thank you, Ray.
Thank you. Thank you.